Yes. Think we're live, my friends. Welcome back. Think we're live, my friends. Welcome back. Think we're live. There we go. Hope you guys are doing well. What's happening, my G's? 26th episode of the live day trading stream here. Today is the Wednesday. It is April 15th. We are halfway through the month, the first month, the second quarter. We're going to talk about the Goldie, as always. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see if we are live, if everything is working correctly. Let me look at the chat real quick. We got some news from Trump. All right, a couple minutes ago, very interesting news. We're going to talk about this right now. So you guys are fully aware of what's happening there. Very interesting now with gold pushing back a little bit. So we're going to talk about that. Let's see if the chat is working. I don't see it yet. What's popping here? Okay. Yes, there we go. GC, Iranian ships do not pass through Hormuz. I think something happened here. We're going to talk about this in a second. Hope you guys are doing well. Good live, my friend. Welcome back. Chris Invest. Good to see you. As always, good to have you here, man. Always supporting the channel here. I really appreciate that. John, the moderator, is back. The man himself. Killed it today already. I saw it's great. Congratulations on your trade. Growth Lift Studio, Dominic, Mariana, Paul, Grigor, nice. Lek, good to see you, man. All right, amazing fam. I can see that the family is back as always, supporting the channel here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support here. And thank you for the likes on this stream. It will help the channel grow tremendously. So, you know what? For everyone working right now, I wish you a fantastic working day. It is Wednesday. You have a couple more days to go here. Let's just make it an incredible stream today. Let's do our absolute best today, right? Our absolute best, the best that we can give is what we're looking for, right? I'm trying to become better myself as well every single day, a little bit better every day, and making sure that I learn from everything that I'm doing as well here. And there's nothing better than doing this live in front of you guys on a daily basis. So let's get the party started. Yes, gonna be a good stream today. People already asking for the music. Yes, sir. Welcome back, baby. Let's make it happen. Let's talk about the news today. It's going to be a very important day. Once again, look at Trump and his new tweets. Let's talk about it right here. He posted something right now here. China is very happy. It's very, very happy. Very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I am doing it for them also, and the world. The situation will never happen again. They've agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President XY will give me a big, fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that beat fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting. And if we have to, far better than anyone else. President Donald J. Trump. Wow. What a statement once again here. Another roller coaster. I hope you are enjoying the ride so far. It is an absolute madness right now happening from a geopolitical standpoint here. One day it's up, the other way it's down, and the next day we're back up again, as always. Okay? As always, that is the situation right there, my friends. So, this is the news indeed here. You saw this also in the trader shop. Trump on Iran. China agreed not to send weapons to Iran. Trump and Iran. China is very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. As well as China is very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I'm doing it for them, okay? That's the conclusion right here. So overall, that's positive news, you would say, right? In general. And this is also the reason I think why oil came down a little bit here. Gold is bouncing at the moment as well. Actually, gold was already bouncing slightly before that. So, you know, we're going to talk about Goldie right now at the moment here, see where we are from that perspective. But of course, we have to take that news in consideration. And again, guess what? It happened, 10 minutes before the New York Open, not the New York Stock Exchange Open, the New York Open, the New York Session Open. All right, 10 minutes before that, obviously, to kick off the session. Interesting how that goes, right? Anyways, that is what we have been seeing right now on gold right here. If you are new to my channel, I wish you a warm welcome. My name is Lorenzo Corrado. I am doing this live over a daily basis here for the next coming months. I decided to go live every day, making sure that I'll show you guys my thought process behind my system, my strategy, trading gold, right? Looking at specifics, the volume profile, the correlations, the order flow, the footprint chart. We're going to talk about this right now at the moment because we're at a very interesting level right now, by the way, from a footprint chart. I'm leaning bullish. So we're going to talk about this at the moment here. Potential pullback scenarios for long continuations here. I must say today is a bit clearer than yesterday. Yesterday was after we saw what happened yesterday. I could definitely see some setups there. But you know what happened yesterday? Yesterday was a no trading day for myself. Let's see if today is a bit different. Let's see if today gives me the opportunity that I want to see here. Let's see if today I can actually get into a nice bounce potential trade right now. London and Asia has been pulling back. Is New York now going to push up again? That is the big question of today's session here. Or are we going to struggle also throughout the New York session, right? This is the question that we have to answer ourselves today, right? What is gold going to do in this actual trading session right now, okay? So at the moment, you could see that oil got a little rejection from that resistance right here. The dollar as well. The dollar is currently in some resistance right there, okay? Similar to the 10-year yield, you can see that actually as well here. We are finding some resistance on the higher time frame right now, okay? The bonds right here are actually pulling back, are not looking that particularly strong, but you can see that we are also in that support right now, right here, okay? And this is why I think it's very important to pay attention to this area right there on the bond market right there. We have this area right here. We have also an area below that right there. We need to pay attention to what happens and how the bonds are reacting right now at the moment, okay? So a couple things that you have to pay attention to. Oil, I think, will be the most important, the combination of oil and the dollar index, of course. We can also look at the euro if you want to understand the dollar, you know, a little bit better from that perspective here, okay? So right now, what I'm looking for right here is gold and a potential bounce play. This is what I'm seeing on the order flow right now at the moment. Let's see if we can actually turn that into something interesting. We can also see that on the 4-hour time frame. Gold indeed yesterday came up. Okay, it took some time. He said below the 80s, we're going to short it. Never got there. We saw the hold, and the longer it was there, the more sellers entered the market, the more buyers eventually stepped in and took out those sellers. Sellers got trapped and potentially liquidated. Okay, so right now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. We saw that during the Asian session today. We are now in a 4-hour demand zone right here. This is a 4-hour area of demand. You can see this very, very clearly. We pull back into that, and we are actually finding that support as well. We are still, respecting somewhat of a trend right here on the hourly time frame right now. Okay, this is just for us to look at it. It's pretty subjective, to be honest, right? We already know this. We talked about this so many times. How trend lines can be quite subjective, but you can clearly see that right now at the moment we are definitely finding that support right here. Okay, so the gold actually found some support right now during the New York session. The 4-hour candle seems to be pushing up here, so therefore it is very important for us now to pay attention to gold. See if you can actually look for some bounce plays right here. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to look for some continuation plays now, at least to see if we could trade the bounce further back up again, and if that makes sense. I mean, the news is positive for gold, right? If the Strait of Hormuz is getting reopened, it would mean that the supply of oil will be less scarce. Therefore, this could have a better impact, of course, on gold because of the weakening of oil then, if that would be the case. You never know what happens in terms of the news here, so we always need to confirm this with real data, real order flow, real volume to understand exactly, is the chart representing that exact bias? Is the context aligning from a fundamental standpoint with the technicals as well here? And then we can talk about setups and everything that comes within that here. Okay, so we have been bouncing from that zone here. We can also see on the 4-hour time frame on the order flow that we're actually bouncing from this level right here. You can see that a lot of trapped sellers there. This is a major area of support. So from a technical standpoint in the lines, the order flow seems to be aligning. And what I find the most interesting right now is the fact that a lot of sellers were trying, and this is interesting, guys, were trying to short into that level right there. They were shorting into that level, but the candle itself closed green. Okay, so if you go here to the downside, okay, what I want to show you right now is actually the delta, right? It shows a minus 225, okay? So that means that in this 4-hour candle, on the footprint right here, there were more sellers than buyers, okay? It's minus 2025. There were more sell contracts activated aggressively, so market executed, than buyers, okay? Now the candle closed green, but there were more sellers active in that candle, all right? The most of the volume was actually traded where it's highlighted right here. You can see that as well in terms of the volume, 3.9, 3.8. It's higher than the rest of the candle. So this is now an area where we have seen a bunch of more trapped sellers right here, okay? So I hope this makes sense so far right here. If you don't understand this, we will make sure that we go over this a lot more over the next coming weeks, okay? And if you're completely new to trading in general and you're learning about what we're doing here, you can download the LTA Concepts Trading Warm-Up. You go to ltaconcepts.io, you click on the link in the description, you fill in your email, and you get my free book right around there, okay? And it allows you to, actually learn about the markets, the supply and demand, the technicals, the things that you need to know in order to have a better understanding of what we're doing here, okay? That is something to definitely take a look at, all right? So that is the 4-hour, that's the higher time frame. I hope this makes sense so far here. Let me know if you guys are on point right now with me, if you guys are aligned with me before I go to the lower time frames, because that's when we will talk about the actual levels, the potential, entries I will be looking for, and the reasoning for the entries, etc., etc. And then, of course, we'll go from there. So let me know if you guys are aligned with me in the chat here. I want to help, of course, as many people as possible, making sure that we are all on the same page. And if you think, yo, this is all a bunch of bullshit, then let me know and tell me the reason why. And then I'll read that too, okay? we have to be honest here, and I respect, of course, everyone's strategy. No matter how you trade, trust me, there's always someone on the other side with a valid point. Sometimes I'm the lucky one. Sometimes you are the lucky one. That's the way I see it. So there is not really a bad approach to the markets, in my opinion. That's the conclusion after a long time of trading right now. Okay, so let's have that respect in the chat as well, and let's support each other, and don't try to have that big, large ego in the chat thinking that we're the best traders of the world, because again, we're all learning, we're all studying, we're all trying to become better, and we all share a similar goal and vision, and that is, of course, becoming a profitable trader consistently making money, becoming a full-time trader if you can, and hopefully, you know, do what do best for ourselves, our family, the people around us. And freedom is that one word that we're all chasing. Let's be honest here. Okay? Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, 4-hour time frame, bull, gold test support. Let's go. Yes. Totally correct here. Okay. So right now, what we're going to look at here is gold going to come down right now. Is it going to pull back a little bit? Now we have to go to the lower time frames. Okay. Because indeed, we can definitely see that we are starting to face some resistance right now at this current moment here. Okay. And we are also on the 5-minute, like I said before, a little bit, okay, overvalued. We have been hanging around here for a while. We haven't really pulled back yet. We haven't seen that pullback yet. So what I'm looking for right now is to see if we can actually pull back into this box with the candle right here, which is roughly there, okay? Because this is where those trapped sellers are. This is what I want to see. Pushing back into at least the 4825. The 4825 on futures. All right, that's what I'm looking for. And then if I can get into an entry there, I would like to target at least the 4845, right? This is where sellers do control today aggressively. Okay, so it would be a pretty clean move from here to there if we can get there. So from 4.5 to 25, so 4.5 right here, 25 right here, okay, to around 45 up there. That's something that I'm interested in looking for. We need to pull back a little bit for that. Now, what I've done here, I've marked out the volume profile, okay, of a range. And I actually marked out a larger range on the 15-minute time frame, which is this range right here. This is a larger range right there, and it gives us these two levels of interest. These are super important levels. Really clean levels, really good levels as well, by the way, okay? Because that means that we will be pulling back to this area right here, and a lot of volume was traded. Look at that right there. Major support actually at that level, but we do have a level in between, and that is the 25. So how do we get to the 25 here? We have to look at the internal structure. We have to look at the current technicals, which is actually sitting a little bit lower. This is on the 5-minute time frame, and I marked out the same range, similar type of range actually, right around there, okay, which is this area. And I'm actually trying to see if right now we can pull back to that. That would be amazing, which is this level, the value high right there, okay? And then we have the point of control right there, okay? This is a technical breakout, a pullback, and then actually what I'm looking for is some sort of like, yeah, you know, somewhere in that range, and then looking for the confirmation for the push towards the, at least the 45s. At least the 45s, taking out the, is that the London high, by the way? Is that the London high? I think that's the London high. Yeah? Yeah, that's the London high. Targeting the London highs. That's actually what I'm looking for, right? So pulling back, pushing up, targeting the London highs is something I'm willing to look at. Let's see if we can get that pullback here. And if price is willing to pull back into that area on the 25s here. On the 1 hour, it aligns actually really well with what we're looking at right here as well. You can see this on the 1 hour. So it's actually a lot more clear than yesterday, for example, from my side at least. And the resistance right now is sitting at the 42. Okay, it's actually sitting right there. You can see that large buyer that got in 136 contracts long, but then he got immediately squeezed out of his position here. And then a large seller entered there, 267. And that was the bottom, pretty much. So again, this candle is a huge candle, and that means that if we would break structure, okay, we would break the 45, yeah, that's actually very bullish for today. Okay, that's kind of the ultimate bullish confirmation right there. But I'm not gonna wait only for that to break. That would be, in my opinion, a bit too late. That means that we're gonna have to chase the market down again for continuation plays. I'd rather look for, you know, that pullback for that potential move, right? That's something that I prefer. And then based around that, I think we have a pretty decent, yeah, overall bias for today. I mean, from my side. Yesterday, I saw that long. I didn't trade it yesterday. Yesterday was a no trading day. But yeah, man, let's see if today will be a bit more, if it can be a bit more proactive again. And we're already pulling back. So let's see if this is exactly what we wanted. Pulling back into the 25. And then see from there, man, if you can get the reaction that we want to see. All right, 25 till 21, which is actually the point of control, the very high. And then, yeah, I think we kind of got what we want there. All right, something in the matter. And then I think we have, yeah, roughly speaking, the room for the to the upside. Let's see if we can go here. Okay. If we pull back here and then actually make that reaction right now, the dollar is a little bit struggling here. Do you see that? The dollar right now is actually struggling a little bit right here. Let me just put this on the side. Let me just put it there here. Yeah, the dollar is a little bit in that resistance right now. You see this? This is actually good for gold that we actually see this happening right now at this current moment. And yeah, let's see if gold can actually bounce. That would be amazing. That would be amazing for today. Bias, leaning, bullish. Levels I am watching is the 4825 plus the 4821 futures. All right, there we go. Let's get us down there. Let's cool off a little bit. All right, we have been sitting there for a while. Let's see if we can push down a little bit and actually tap into one of these levels here. And yeah, if we can get a good reaction from that, then I think that's a buy for me. And then we go from there. Yeah. Bro, be careful today. Only sells. Look at the bear flag that has been created. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I mean, we'll see how it goes here. I have pretty clear idea of how this candle has closed in the 4 hour, the 1 hour. We're bouncing from higher time frame support on gold right now, which is the 4 hour demand. So I have a couple of things here. The 4 hour candle looks pretty decent. So yeah, I need to stick to my system here. But yeah, overall, we just follow up and do this every single day and we see from there here. We are in that winning streak as well. We have not traded yesterday, but I think on the stream we have that four-day winning streak. And a couple break-evens in between that. So yeah, let's see if we can follow up with this and continue to do our thing, man. Let's see. I like how the dollar is slowing down though. Yeah, I like how the dollar is slowing down. Why do I put the fixed volume profile there? The reason why is because of the range, the fixed ranges. Okay, you can learn about this in our book right here on page number, volume analysis, the fixed range volume profile, the fixed volume profile, page number 46, right there. Okay, that's where you find your answer. Celia says, I'm new to trading and I'm 800 away from passing my first combine. I love the way you explain things. Thank you for doing this. Your first combine. Wow. That's like, I can remember when I passed my first challenge. It was like life-changing at the moment. The problem that I had though was that I was too excited after that and that I wanted to trade immediately because I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to sell in my first trade on a real funded account. A real funded account. And yeah, guess what happened after that? You probably guessed it correctly. Yes, sir. I lost that account quite quickly right after that. But that was the moment I saw the potential. I saw my potential. I saw the potential. And I knew this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm willing to continue to do. And yep, eye-opening, that's for sure. So congratulations. Yeah. I'm very new. Oh, sorry, Lorenzo, can you share the template or settings for your action chart? Yes, I could. You need to message me on Instagram. Then I can send you a Google Drive link if you want. Yeah, it will save you a tremendous amount of time setting up correctly because it took me a long time to set it up correctly. Usually every order flow, when you first open up an order flow software, yeah, you think like, okay, I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. So you need to really fine tune this. You need to really make sure that you're aligned. Everything works perfectly. And once you've put in the work and you understand it, yeah, it's a game changer, of course, definitely. Yeah, it's holding up really well. Gold doesn't really want to come down right now. And that's mainly because of the dollar. Right? Look at the dollar is actually dropping right now on the 15-minute. Okay. But yeah, if you can consolidate here, we manipulate down and we just continue to go up. That would be, for me, already a beautiful, yeah, beautiful setup actually. It would be pretty nice. Do you think we'll get into a trade today? I can never say 100%, right? But I know that we're very close to these limit orders right there. I'm not. For me, it's not far away. Is it more clear than yesterday for me? Definitely more clear than yesterday. Yeah, definitely. Yesterday we were in resistance, and this is always a bit tricky, right? You're in higher time frame resistance, and you know, a lot of people went short, right? A lot of people start shorting that resistance right there. You could see that yesterday, very, very clear, by the way. Look at this yesterday. We saw a lot of shorting yesterday here. Look on the hourly, a lot of shorting here. All that shorting during the London and Asia session there, and then boom, we shoot up, right? And this is something that you cannot see on the candlestick chart, right? All that shorting, of course, in that higher time frame resistance. This is where a lot of people enter short. And then the moment they're like, okay, that's enough liquidity in the market. Boom, we shoot up. And we trap all of the sellers in that resistance and we break resistance. And this is what happened yesterday. So I saw kind of the idea of like shorting below the 80s. With a closure, we never got that. Then I was like, okay, I think we're going to buy now. I think we're going to break out soon. I set my limit orders and we never got filled and we just shoot up right after that. And I never got into my trade right here. So yeah, that can happen sometimes. Was I happy with my overall thought process? Yes. Obviously not with my execution. I could have been a bit more aggressive yesterday in comparison. Okay. But yeah, that was yesterday. Today's a new day and now we're pulling back and we have found support. So it's a little bit of a different story than yesterday. So let's see. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to set the limit order right here at the yeah, at around the 20s. Yeah, the 20 yeah, pretty much here. Pretty much at this level, 26. Yeah, I think the 26. And then maybe one more below, roughly speaking here, in case we swipe that too. Let me actually calculate this. Yeah, I think that makes sense, right? Yeah. Something like that. And then I would say sell stop below the range, which is, yeah, it's actually at 13. Yeah, 13. Yeah, and then if I fail, then I could still look for a re-entry, but I'm not going to have a stop loss that big. I'd rather get stopped out and look for a new trade, to be really honest with you, if that's the case. So yeah, like something like this. Yeah, 13 actually. There we go. Yeah. All right, let's see. What is the difference between gold spot and gold GC is gold. It's gold futures, okay. It's the same candles. If you look at the candles on your gold chart on spot or this, it's the same candles. It has a different price though, so do take that in consideration. But Yeah. Lorenzo, do you think that it's better to just not trade if I keep getting confirmations at my point of interest, but then price instantly fades against me? Can you explain what you mean? Because like when price gets to your area of interest and it instantly fades, you're getting your confirmations, and then you enter first, and then price goes immediately against you. Yeah, you cannot always know that beforehand, right? So it's hard to say I'm not going to trade it because you never know. You never know, right? If I'm understanding your question correctly. By the way, if we reach the 120 subscribers, 120K guys, which is, since we started trading, we went from 100 to almost 120, which is roughly what, 26 streams ago. If we reach 120, we're going to do a nice fat giveaway. All right, what about that? We're going to do a nice fat giveaway. It's been a while. I think it's worth it. I think we're going to give away some, some challenges, whatever is necessary. We're going to put some effort into that one. Okay? So, absolutely. Looking forward to that. We're not far away. Could be today, could be tomorrow, could be by the end of the week, could be early next week, who knows. But it's time for a nice giveaway at the 120,000 subscribers. I think that's definitely worth it. All right? If you like the stream, by the way, if you like the value provided, look at the gold chart, look at the order flow. Our bias today is more bullish. We just talked about the reasoning behind it. Then if you could smash up the like button for me, man, it will be amazing. That's pretty much the only thing I'm asking. For the rest, we're gonna be here anyways. Even if I don't get any likes, I will be here anyways. But so you're not gonna tell me, oh, it's gonna motivate me more to do this. No, I will be here anyways. But it's just a respect thing, right? Which I appreciate. Yeah, so gold is exactly there at that resistance that we talked about right here. It's pulling back a little bit. So I would love to get to that pullback, that push down, and then whoop, break out. That's what I want to see. Let's see if I'm right today. See if I'm correct. Okay. What is the dollar doing? Dollar is holding that support a little bit here, so that actually allows us to say, okay, that's what you want to see right now. If you want to get into the trade, if I want to get into the trade, that's actually what I want to see. So dollar, yeah, at least finding a little bit of support. Let's see. In terms of news, we don't have much news today. We have the crude oil inventories. And then tomorrow, I think we have some... Also tomorrow, we don't have that much news. We have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, I think. And then the initial jobless claims, as always, right? And then Friday, what do we have Friday? Nothing. So not much news this week, the rest of the week. Except for Trump, of course. Except for our Uncle Trump. Okay, look at the valuation right now. The valuation is dropping. That's what we want. Because if that means that we will come down and we get towards the undervaluation here, and that's a good sign. Because last time, look at where we were, right? Right here. Look at that bottom here. Right here. Look at that bottom there, right? Look at that. Right there. A little bit of a bottom, short term. Definitely did it came down further. And then right there. The bottom. And then also here, sorry. The short-term bottom, right? So do you see how every time we get there, pretty much all the time, we find a short-term bottom? Not necessarily a reversal, a strong trend reversal, no. A short-term bottom, like 30 minutes. You know, we're trying to at least find a bottom, even if it's just a range. That's some nice data. That's some nice data to work with. Because if we are actually undervalued and we get to our point of interest, okay? We get to our area of interest, one of our key levels, and then at the same time, the order flow confirms that level too. Do you see how you can combine that and turn that into a trading strategy? This is called the Stealth Valuation Index, the indicator I created. It's similar to the RSI, but it's a little bit different because it actually measures it against the dollar. Right there, comparison symbol, the dollar index. Right there. And then it calculates the dollar candles and then gold candles. And then we'll actually make that calculation. And then you see how accurate it is, right? How accurate it actually is. But it's not accurate enough to just enter blindly when this is a signal. No, it goes hand in hand. It correlates with other confirmations. Key level, area of interest, right? Support or resistance. The macro, the understanding of what's happening in the market, the correlation with the dollar. And oil, for example, right now as well, right? Also something that we're looking at, right? Yeah, and then the order flow. William David, welcome to this channel, my friends. Okay. Welcome to the channel. See you, man. SK1K426, just sent you a DM on IG. But love that you removed ego from trading. So many YouTube traders are really polarizing. But you're really supportive of your community. Thank you. Thank you. I was, to be honest, I have to be honest with you. If you look at my older videos, I was also a little bit more polarizing. Okay. But then I grew up. Then I woke up. I'm like, you know what? All that freaking bullshit in this industry. It's ridiculous, man. Let's just focus on what we need to do here. Let's build something nice. Let's remove our ego, because that ego that we're, projecting front end. So if I'm projecting it to you guys in front of the streams, for example, it has an impact on my trading decisions, by the way, as well. It is all correlated. So by removing that segment from my ego, by removing my ego, it helps me becoming a better trader, indirectly too. Hope that makes sense, but it's true. So let's focus on trading. Real trading instead. What about that? Gold is slowing down a little bit. Yeah, we have two beautiful levels here. The 4825 is one, which is of course this range. We have our levels already met. I have my buy limits already set. My stop loss can go under that red box, which is the 13, and then under that we have another level at the 405. Which is actually, by the way, that's funny enough, it's actually the larger range, the larger push, rejection, and then the reaction there. So we have some opportunities there. At least I do have a couple levels in mind. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels actually to work with. And it's all about how can I end the day in green, right? That's the question here. Can I end the session in green by the end of session here? So let's hope that Goldie does what Goldie does, and let's see if it can actually reject from that level. If sellers are indeed trapped here. Shorting the bottom, and then we can actually target the London highs, right? The London highs right there. Where's the London? The London Asian lows, London lows, London highs. Don't I even have that? Okay. London highs. on the highs. Yeah. Boris says, I use candlestick confirmations like change of character, engulfing fair value gaps, and inverted fair value gaps. I look for these after price enters my point of interest, and for the last few days, they just seem to be not working. I think you're trading ICT, correct? I haven't been trading this too much, to be honest. I know that fair value gaps for me are more or less the low volume nodes in the market. So we talked about this in my book. Okay, I compare the fair value gap to what I call the low volume nodes. You can actually see this right here on page number 28. Okay, areas of low volume, which is causing an imbalance, right? Which is actually a very interesting area. So I do get the principle of the fair value gap and why it is called a fair value gap and why people trade it. It makes sense. I prefer to use the volume profile for it though, because it allows me to just 100,000% confirm the fair value gap, and not theoretically it should be a fair value gap. No, you can actually confirm it factually with real data utilizing the volume profile, right? So for me personally, that's my way of doing it. That's how I like to do and look at the imbalances. And yeah, I do have seen in the past many times that you get into these low volume nodes and you do react from it. Sabi says, I learned your CME strategy from your book and applied it today. Amazing. Yeah, great. Here are the settings, by the way, in case you want to know it. It's 128 row size, 70 value hour volume. I use the numbers of rows. You can also use the ticks. Not the ticks, sorry, the number of rows. I thought you could use the ticks too. 128, 70. Okay. Yeah, for the colors, you know, here you go. Dollar is not looking strong, that's for sure. Valuation is coming down a little bit, but gold has a hard time dropping right now. Gold has a hard time dropping right here. Let's see what happens on the lower time frame here. Yeah, you see a mix of selling and buying. There's not a clear direction here right now internally. Same for the 15 minute. A lot of buying, selling. We're pretty flat, as you can see on the chart, of course. We do have support indeed at like 30 right now. We do have some support at 30. 30, right? Yeah, 30, 4830. We do have some support there. Yeah. Yeah. Why does the book not get sent to me? I don't know. No idea why. Why does the book not get sent? I don't know. It should be good. It's working for others. I mean, most of the people receive it. I can see it in the back end. It should be working. It should be working. Yeah, keep a close eye on the emails, by the way. I've been sending out some cool emails as well. Stream updates, trade history, psychologies, things like that, as well as things that we are working on the back end besides the streams. Currently, my Discord is closed, so there are no new people coming into my Discord right now. I work with the people that are in the group, but my suggestion is to just show up on the streams on a daily basis, like a lot of you guys are already doing right now, which is amazing.
I've been on the run.
Yeah, you see, we're holding at that like 30 level right now. Gold's looking really strong already. Which limits are taking? I have 2 limit orders. The reason why is because I kind of want to spread my risk. So I have one at 26 and then one at 21.8, 22 you could say. So if we get filled here, great, and we go, great, I'm still happy. If we push down a little bit more, right, just a little bit, I get a slightly better entry on average. That's the idea. And the overall risk makes sense. So it's calculated perfectly. Yeah, I love actually the consolidation right now. I think it's a good thing, right? Especially if we consolidate, we come down, we tap into the range, and then boom, we go for the highs right away. We create some sort of manipulation here. So see kind of the consolidation right now, and hopefully we don't see the breakout here. So the C, then the M, we get in the trade, and then the expansion. We go for the London highs. What happens if we close above the London highs? Well, it depends how we close this hourly candle, right? Because if we close above the 38, we're gonna most likely find support already here. And then, yeah, we'll most likely find. But the most resistance right now is still at the, at the highs here, at the 41, kind of there. So yeah, don't want to long here, because if I long here, we're gonna find resistance right here. Let me see, we're gonna find resistance right here. And wait, we're gonna find resistance right there. Yeah, I have no risk reward ratio here. Like, I'm not gonna put my stop loss there. I just don't have any room for the trade, pretty much, right? That's the idea. Like, I could scalp this quickly, but it's just, what is this, 3 points? Right, how much is that, 30 pips? You know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna have a 30 pip trade for a, yeah, I cannot put my stop loss below here. Nah, it's just not gonna be worth it. You know what I mean? That's why, it's just the risk reward is not worth it for me. The risk to reward needs to align. Yeah. So either we pull back to 26 for the best risk reward ratio of this trade setup, the range breakout retest. We might get into the 41, we get rejected. That could also be a scenario. But look at the dollar. The dollar is looking weaker, and that's for sure right now. Dollar is definitely dropping, but you can see that gold is finding that resistance here as well. It doesn't really want to break out, but if it does break out, we get to the 41 first. I would say right here, let's say we have the entry, let's say there, right? You target that. And that's a nice 2-to-1. At least a 2-to-1, right? At least a 2-to-1. I will probably close it a bit early here. It depends. Could also manage it a bit better. But that should be the minimum as well, in my opinion. It just depends. I don't really have I focus on the 2-to-1, but if it's a bit lower, it's fine. But it can't be like a 0 point, like, you know, 4. Like, that's just, no. Something I cannot do. Yeah. I want to see something like this, and then yeah, hopefully something like that. Let's see if we're correct today. Good. Okay. Yeah, so these are the two scenarios. Either we break down, and I want to definitely look for longs. See if we can trade the bounce here. And if we actually do break out, yeah. I think that that's a very strong sign for bullish continuation, because then we just flip the structure completely internally, right? We will actually then just create a higher high, right? We just come back into the range, we create a higher high, and then we look for the higher low, continuation towards the highs, for example, again. But the earlier, the lower, the better. The lower, the better. What is your main income stream, trading or YouTube? Nah, bro, YouTube doesn't pay. If you really want to know, the YouTube, I'm not making content, right? I'm a streamer, all right? If I want to make money as a streamer, then I would be on Kick. I need to be on Kick or something like Twitch or whatever you want to call it, right? I need to be on a real like streaming platform if I want to make a little bit of money on that. YouTube is not it, okay? YouTube is not that. Do you have any profit targets in regards to percentages per day? I don't really want to look at profit targets too much per day, because it's going to screw my mind. I need to reach this. I need to reach this. It's great to have goals and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to force too much. Somebody asked me that recently as well. I said, yo, what about thinking it from this angle? What about just thinking about how can I reduce and limit my losses? Right? So instead of you having the potential, because you know, most likely, that you have the potential as a trader. You have the potential as a trader. You make these trades, you win, and then boom, one big fat loss. Bye-bye, right? Or win, loss, big loss, right? Because you're chasing, you're getting excited. And if you fall in that repetitive cycle, let me know if you recognize this, by the way. In that repetitive cycle of like win, you're doing great, you're feeling great, everything is going well, big loss. Right? And you cannot get out of that. Well, your objective is to stay as sharp and focused as you can. I'm not saying that you're going to avoid losses, but instead of trying to focus on targets and goals, focus on the minimization of it. That will get you there as well. That will get you there as well. All right, so you're going to need to ask yourself the question, how do I minimize my losses, or how do I minimize my silly mistakes? Rather than how do I maximize my profits? Because by minimizing, you maximize. Okay, the gold rejection is actually good. I like that. I want to see that. Okay, we're pulling back. Come on, baby. Give us the day. Continue our streak today. I do our thing today. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. I also took a loss during the Asian session, my first loss in a while. So New York needs to rectify this with a proper setup, a well thought about setup. The streams have been, we haven't seen a loss in a while, but yeah, I still trade outside of New York as well. So I need to rectify it, quote unquote, not revenge trading. Okay, just so you know. This is not a revenge trade idea. Not a revenging trade idea. Let's put it this way. How to execute on the exit charts. I don't execute on exit charts. I just look at the exit charts. There is a trading terminal in there, but I don't really know how to use it. I haven't used it before. I haven't really used it before. I like to utilize, you know, TradingView. When it works, when it's not laggy. You guys saw what happened on a Monday, right? All right. Gold, gold, gold. What are you doing this session? What are you doing? You're gonna come down, or are you good up there? Yeah, I recognize this setup. I recognize this. Remember that we traded that before? We actually took setup, remember? There was something like this. We had a range like this for a long time. We came down aggressively. And then we spiked up aggressively. Remember that? It's been like 2 weeks ago. So maybe you don't remember it. But I remember every setup I take. Every setup I take. I remember the history of the pattern. I remember what happened before. I remember how it developed. I pay a lot of attention to certain scenarios. And it seems to be better that we break down actually first and not break up and then break down. I prefer the other way around. I prefer to break down and then break up. There's a trader who says he uses the footprint to get data and then uses a digital analysis strategy to accurately identify reversal zones. Do you know anything about this? This is exactly what we're doing here. That is pretty much what we're doing. Okay. Dollar breaking below the VWAP. I hope we will see a CME play today. That's what I want to. That's what I hope to see here. Okay. That's what I hope to see there. There's no way I'm gonna enter in this range, guys. There's no way I'm gonna enter and sit it out. I hope to see a CME play here. So if you don't know what a CME play is, it's pretty textbook, right? Consolidation, manipulation. Then the expansion. Now, this is exactly right now what we're seeing, what we could see, right? This is what we're hoping to see, like I said before. It's like this. Right here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So we have that consolidation, right? Right there. Then we have the manipulation. Now, guess what our manipulation is? This is our level. This is our buy limit. This is my buy limit right there. And then I want to see that expansion, right, to our London highs. The London. Whoop. London. There we go. London. Amazing handwriting. Highs. Whoop. Right? Like that. Boom. So this is my POY. POY, right? So right now we're doing something similar. Hopefully. We range, we manipulate into our level, and we go for the London highs, right? That's what I want to see today. It's pretty textbook, actually, from that perspective. And it is supported with with the confirmation of the 4 hour on the footprint chart. So it's not just speculation from my side here. It has real utility behind it. A lot of trapped sellers are sitting there in this range. A lot of people were selling here. Okay, a lot of aggressive people were selling, market sell, and they're now stuck in drawdown, which tends to act as support, or it higher the chance that we'll find support there. That's all I can say. It increases the chance that we'll find support there. Yeah, man. Let's see. Brahma says the DSI salute you. The DSI. DSI. Okay. What is the DSI? Hello, I need help with my SMC and ICT trading algorithm. Can you please help develop or trade using the SMC and ICT concepts? Have you looked into the volume profile and the footprint chart and the order flow? Let me know. Have you read about it? There are a lot of there's a lot of cool videos about this. I would check it out on YouTube. See what you think about it. DSI is the Elite Special Forces unit. Ah, remember, yeah, I remember. Use funded accounts, yeah, partially. Partially. Come on, man. Wow. This was the New York Open, right? The New York Open, not the New York Stock Exchange Open. Right here. Yeah. Nothing has happened since that. So let's see. We know what that means. We know what that can mean. It's gonna be a nasty session today. That's what that means. Yeah. Get ready. Get ready. Okay, we're pushing already, man. Yeah, let's see if we close actually above that as well. What about the hourly? The hourly is gonna close. No, the hourly closed already. Neutral also. So we didn't close above that zone, below that zone. We're close actually within this. So there's not much to tell there. Also, the 50-minute is completely flat. Sellers are definitely entering here. The 5-minute is showing a little bit more pushing right now. Hey bro, I've been on a buy order. From 4795, okay. You've been on a buy order of 4795. Okay, so you entered already there. I would still wait for the pullbacks. We haven't seen a proper pullback after that, to be honest, right? Except for this one. Except for that one, of course. Oh, you're talking about gold spot, I think, right? Yeah, 495. Okay. Yeah, you haven't seen a proper pullback. So I would wait for a pullback, at least. I wouldn't chase it because you feel good about your entry right there. And you think, oh, I have a beautiful entry here. Right there. So let me just buy more now already. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, maybe it goes up. Maybe it goes up, right? But if you can get there again into the trade, for example, you have still your entry. You have a really, really good entry there, right? You don't really want to enter here and then enter now. And then what happens if price comes down? Then you're already a break even right there. And then it's like, Well, up to you, man. Up to you. You have a great position already. So congratulations, that. It's a good trade. Are we gonna push it to that 41 level first? Is the dollar dropping again? Is oil dropping? No, oil is chilling right now. Oil has not been breaking. Silver is pushing hard, by the way. Look at silver, man. Wow. Look at that candle on silver here. Silver is pushing. What about the euro? Ah, it's holding steady. It's holding steady. Silver is pushing hard. Gold not really. Silver is the one that's going. Look at that. That is a push from... that's a 1% push here in 30 minutes. In 30-minute candle, sorry. So yeah, that's definitely pushing right now. Look at that. Oil is slowing down, definitely. The news came out, right? Trump on Iran. China agreed to not send weapons to Iran. And China is very happy. Very, very, very happy. That I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. And I'm doing it for them. Also in the world, this situation will never happen again. They've agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big fat hug. President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. We are working together smartly and very well. Doesn't that beat fighting? But remember, we are very good at fighting. And we have to, and if we have to, far better than anyone else. Donald J. Trump. So oil is dropping and the dollar is pushing down in with resistance. And the metal sector likes that news. The metal sector loves it. The metal sector loves that type of news. Including gold, including silver, apparently. Including Bitcoin. Yeah. Risk on, baby. Risk on. Look at the Nasdaq. What a message. What a spectacle. At least it's better news. It is better news. It sounds like a little bit of de-escalation here. Okay. Wow, look at gold. Absolutely flat. Flat. Look at the 1 minute. It's the 1 minute time frame for you here. The 1 minute time frame. Up. That CME trade would be so good. It would be so clean. If that would be, if this would pull back here and then makes that move, that would be so good. We've seen the setup before. This is not an unusual setup here. This is it's pretty much a textbook trade. If this comes to fruition, it's for sure from my personal experience a trade that I've been trading many times over. So let's see what happens. Every time when I'm thinking, yeah, gold is going to come down to our entry there, it's going to drop it. Nope, it's holding. Jay, good evening, good morning. Good evening for myself. Good morning to you, I think. Hope you're doing well. You know what the problem is with entering inside of the range? You have the range here, right? If I enter long now, then where am I going to put my stop loss? Right below that? How big is the chance if we will make the move up that we push down and then do this, for example, right? And then my target is right there already. So it's like, it's a 1-to-1 maybe, if I'm lucky. Yeah, we could see that spike. We could definitely see a spike soon. I'm not gonna lie, look at the dollar. The dollar is looking weaker though. It just doesn't align for me here. I leave this one up to you, honestly. Yeah, well, we have the 41 as well, by the way. Don't forget that. We have that major resistance here. At the the 42. The 42. This is why I marked out that box here. Yeah, we're already pushing. We're trying to push. Let's see what the reaction is there. Yeah, dollar tanking here. Oil as well, right? Yep. For a beginner with around 1 year of experience, would you recommend trading CFD or futures? I don't really think it matters, man. I think you just need to, build that experience. I don't really think it matters, bro. Just keep building out your strategy, your system, etc. I think CFDs at the beginning is just easier, right, to work with. They did make a change today. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that, but they indeed. This is what I heard. I heard that they removed a rule from futures, so you can actually trade with a little bit more, with less money on a futures account right now. They removed that rule. Where did I saw that? Let me see if I can find this for you guys. This is actually very interesting. Before, if you wanted to trade a personal futures account, you needed to have at least 25K on that account in terms of margin, right? I think they removed that rule here. They actually did that, if I'm correct. Let me confirm this, guys. I just need to see if I can find this. But it's very interesting news, by the way. Let me see if I can find that, because it's actually very interesting. Yeah, here we go. Just in, the SEC officially approves ending pattern day trader rule, eliminating the 25,000 minimum for day trading. So if you want to trade futures right now, before you had or needed the $25,000 on your account, now you don't need it anymore. So it allows a lot of people with less money to trade futures on a personal account, which is actually very interesting that they did that. All right, so now you can actually trade the micros without all of that margin needed. So that's kind of interesting. If you trade futures now, you don't have to, you don't need that much money anymore. This is interesting. It's an interesting change. Okay, we're in that resistance here. As you can see, we're reacting from it. Still holding up really well, don't get me wrong. Do you trade about the same time every day? Yes, 8 a.m. EST will be here. You see everything, man. My wins, my losses, my no trading days, my break-even days, my... yeah, everything. Every little detail. If you want to look back, just look at last Friday's stream, because I did a recap of all the trades of the week, the previous trading week. Last week we traded every day. Monday, we had a really amazing trade. It was a beautiful trade. We got in, we got out in like 1 minute. Yesterday, no trading day. I kind of messed up there myself, to be honest. I missed out on an opportunity. Today, I think everything is like, if this doesn't hit today, I am actually completely fine with this, because it's different from yesterday. Yesterday, I could have entered a bit more aggressively. I would never enter in this range myself, personally. That's just my personal experience. I would not do that. So yeah, let's hope that we'll get back. If not, if you break out, then I still look for a retest or something, or a confirmation after the breakout. Obviously, the trades are just for educational purposes, okay? Don't trust a random Dutch guy, a Dutch Italian guy you see on your screen right away from the beginning. Don't do that, okay? Don't trust strangers, okay? Don't do that. Pay attention, see what you can learn. If you want to learn, if you know what to look for, of course. If you know what you're looking for, you might find it, but don't trust a random guy on the internet, okay? Just saying. It takes time to build trust. I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. We're just doing the right thing. Yeah, we're already squeezing through these London highs right now. The 1 hour will be very important though. If we close above this, then this will turn into support, right? We'll have a new zone there. Yeah, and then entries, then I could move my entries up because then the target is pretty clear. But we have to break resistance first. And we'll find resistance very soon, right? I think once the London highs are taken out, we will find resistance here. So, you know, we cannot neglect this. We're gonna find serious resistance there. So, yeah, do I really want to short that? Do I really want to do something like this? You know what I mean? I don't know. I might try, but it's pretty strong. If the dollar is that weak and oil is that weak and there's positive news for gold here from a news standpoint, you have to be very careful with shorting. Trump did it again. 10 minutes before the news. Are we still in that zone? We are still in that zone for now. Beard says short term, I think it will come down to 4450. 48, I think, okay? Yeah, 4850 or 4450. From like a higher time frame standpoint, you mean? Is that what you're saying? From like a swing trading perspective? Come on, not again. Not today again. I don't want to get like lost again, or not lost again, but like there's nothing more frustrating than having the buys correctly multiple days in a row, and then not finding the right entries for that, for example. But at the same time, my experience tells me to not chase the market like that because I get crushed when I do that in the past, right? And if we trade as much as we traded, let's say in the last 2 weeks, we know it's temporary. We know that it's temporary. Oh, look at that reaction. We know that it's temporary because we know that at some point we can just enter trades again. It goes in waves, but it's still frustrating. Wow, we couldn't break that, eh? That was a pretty strong reaction there. What was that? We're still overvalued again. What about your top step? Yeah, no, top step is just chilling. I'm really, you know, pretty cautious with this. I want to make sure that I build this up again. I have, you know, I have 450K in funding on top step, right? 350K accounts, XFA accounts, and I wasn't trading them for months. They were just sitting there for months doing nothing. I'm like, that's unacceptable. Like, why did I leave 450K of funding on the table like that? And the reason is just like, it's that multi-approach, right? It's that like multiple accounts trading at the same time. You lose your focus. It's like so annoying, right? You have an account there, you have an account there, you have an account there. And then, you know, you don't want to, it's like you want to, they have to enter on all these different accounts. Manage to trade differently, different risk parameters, right? I mean, I heard that you now have a copy trader, but on futures, but it's also quite new. Like, how does it call? I'm not sure what the name is, but anyways. Yeah. Should have copy traded it. You know, but I'm like, yeah, man. Like, regardless, it's still 450K in funding, right? It's still, you can still get 15K, multiple 15K payouts at the time. Yeah, how much is XauchArt? XauchArt is roughly speaking, I think it's around $50 a month. But you need to buy the data, which is not that much if you just trade gold. So yeah, you need to, it is an investment, of course. But like I said before, like, work towards your first payout, right? If you trade a prop firm, work towards your first payout or build up your account. Prove to yourself that you can do it. Prove that yourself that you can manage a trade, that you have actual strategy, and then think about all these other layers, right? Then think about, see, how can I get better? How can I upgrade? What can I do after that, right? And then you can think about this stuff, right? But not step by step, I would say. It's very easy as a trader to see all these different tools and softwares, and you think, oh, I need everything to become profitable. Like, I became profitable before I started using the Orderflow. But it kind of sharpened my edge, right? Sharpened my sword after that. And yeah. Later on, I really started to understood the value of the footprint chart and how amazing it actually is. Yeah, the London high is not broken yet. It's still there, right? We're creating a double top right now. Right here. A double top at the London highs. Equal tops at the London highs. So if this comes down, that's still gorgeous, right? That would be amazing, because like these equal highs are there. It will be amazing to see it dropping now. Not gonna lie, that would be top. But yeah. Yeah, YouTube pays for my extra charts, that's for sure. That extra $100 a month, okay, that's all right. That's okay. YouTube does that, yeah. Not much more than that, but enough to pay the softwares. Yeah, well, the bias was at least clear for us. There is no doubt about that here. We saw that early on. And I think the dollar aligned. The dollar is finding some support right now. Oil, what's oil doing? Oil is weak. Oil is just weak right now, right? Oil is literally on the verge of tanking here. If this breaks down, then gold just might just continue to break higher, right? And that could easily be happening here. And then we have to think about the adjustment. And the hourly is going to do that for me. The hourly candle. 40. Yeah, that's going to be the retest then. Yo, Broccoli, thank you for the €5. I really needed that, man. Thank you so much. What a legend. I can buy my tea now. Thank you. I can buy my peppermint tea for the streams now. Thank you so much. What a legend. I love my peppermint tea here on the streams. You have no idea. Do you think the VIX and the 10-year bonds are correlated to the Nasdaq? The VIX I have on my list. It's dropping. What are the bonds doing? Not necessarily correlated, to be honest. Yeah, there is a negative correlation between the Nasdaq and the Treasury bonds. I have seen this in the past, definitely. You indirectly could say yes, but the VIX is much more aggressive, much more explosive. Okay, what's next? Because we're pushing higher right now. This is far, far, far away. Oil is breaking down. It's actually closing down again. This is what I'm saying, right? It goes in waves, where there are periods where just like, there are no pullbacks. We just break out. Friday, we saw the two. Friday was a clear entry though, where we didn't have to pull back, where we just entered in the range. What are the levels here? We have the 40, sorry, the 38. That's right here. That's one. We need to pull back to that zone in order to get there. Let me also look at the swing profile. Let me mark out the low to the current high right now. Let's see where the most volume was traded. Okay, here we go. So we have the 38 indeed. And we have the 33. 38 and 33. Now, actually, I think the 30 is better. 38 and 30. Because if this breaks, we're going to just continue to drop. It seems like oil is going to target the wick, the lows of the wick. So that could cause gold to just spike. Spike a bit higher. All right. Spike a bit higher. Yeah. Nice, yeah. Broccoli just paid for my tea. What a legend. What a legend. You know, that's at least worth, you could say, at least 10 streams. Yeah. Okay. There are roughly speaking 20 packages of tea in that box. So, like roughly speaking, 2 of these sacks a day, a stream. My guy. We work together as a team, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, I need to. If he closes hourly candle, then I'll have to move my my limits right there. I'm gonna give it definitely more time today on the streamer, to be honest, because I just see the potential today much more than yesterday, actually. Lorenzo, do you think that trading can make you very rich? Well, what do you mean with rich? What does that mean to you? That's the question. For some people, rich means I am stress-free. Okay, I'm not extremely wealthy, but I'm living a stress-free life. I can cover my bills without having to worry about it. I have some savings. I feel freedom, right? That could be rich. We're talking that rich, or we're talking Ferrari rich, or we're talking family wealth rich, generational wealth rich. Depends what you're saying here. I think it depends. It's different for everyone. Some people here are people that work, that don't have large goals. They want to be free. That's, I think, what most people actually want. Because a lot of money comes with a lot of responsibility, and not many people can handle that responsibility. And I've seen it in my personal surroundings. I see it in people in my life around me. A lot of money comes with a lot of responsibility. Not everyone is able to capitalize on that fully and take that responsibility. I'll take it for granted. So having enough to live a comfortable life, to be free, to travel wherever you want to travel to, with the people that you love, for example, doesn't have to be on a high note. That's, to me, being rich already, okay? All right? Now, if you ask me, what do you want? I want to get fucking rich. You know what I mean? Fucking rich, all right? Sorry for my wording. But anyways. I respect everyone's goals here. And I think just having that freedom is a big step. Is a big step. It means a lot to a lot of people. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of sellers stepping in here right now. And the hourly close is in 15 minutes. So after the London highs are taken out, guess what? What happens when the London highs get taken out, guys? A lot of people see that, right? What do? They go short. Look at that 15-minute candle right here, right? A lot of shorters suddenly entering the market right here. The question is, if we are bullish and the market is bullish for this session, is that a smart decision? We'll see that in a second. We'll figure that out. I prefer to get in on the pullback. Namavik says, my rich life is I am a profitable trader and my wife has her own coffee shop, able to look after my retired parents. That is beautiful. That is rich. That is rich. Congratulations, man. I love that. Beautiful, my friend, Nam. And I know you're working hard. I know you. I know you very well. I know you're doing your absolute best. I've seen it. Not in the chat, but also on other platforms. So good job, man. Keep up the good spirits. And I mean, your why is extremely important, right? Because if you don't have a reason, if you don't have a why of why you're doing this, a deeper why, then it's very hard to lose track in trading. It's very hard to lose focus in trading. It's very hard to just be careless with everything what you do in trading. So setting goals, setting your why very straight is a beautiful start. I think that is where it all begins. So well done. It's really struggling right now. Yeah, I still believe, there is still a chance. Not necessarily there, maybe, but like, I'll definitely keep a very close eye on the 34. The 34, which is roughly speaking, the 38 actually, sorry. 38 and 34. A lot of sell limits, by the way. If you guys are wondering what is this, okay, these are the passive orders in the market. You can actually see how many sell limits there are placed and buy limits there are placed here, right? You can actually see that a lot of sell limits are getting placed there. It's kind of getting drawn to. It's like a draw of liquidity. So there's definitely a reason to try to tap into this. The question is, are we going to break it? Yes or no? But you see these two large orders sitting there at the 50s, the 55s, 51s. It's very interesting to witness this in real time. You see the market footprint and then you see the limits right there. I haven't really talked about this much on stream. But the reason why I prefer the market orders is because it's factual, right? These are actually executed orders. And like limit orders like that, passive orders can be removed at any time. But it's very interesting. When you see these large orders sitting here, it's very interesting. Sometimes you do see that it's trying to push into it. So it's actually a good sign. But at the same time, there are sellers active, all right? So if you see a lot of buying here right now that you see here, you see a lot of buyers stepping in, right? A lot of green at the top, but these sellers are absorbing these buyers right now. Okay, so we are facing some resistance here. Yeah, and I think this closure will be super important. A lot of buyers stepping in. They're trying to squeeze through these sellers. Look at that. Boom, taken out right now. You see that? Taken out. New order sitting up at the 53s right here. Right? Yeah, we're going to squeeze higher. This might get up there. This is definitely a no-go right now. Let's put this on to 38s. Where's the major resistance? I think the next major zone is not far away though. We're very close to it right now. But this looks very strong. This looks very, very strong at the moment. Oh yeah, it's still holding up. So it's the dollar then. Dollar is also holding up. What's dropping? What is dropping here? The bonds are at support. The euro is already coming down. Silver is doing really well. Look at silver here. Silver is absolutely tanking higher. Squeezing to the upside. Really aggressively. Yeah. Why the 38? I need to actually wait for that closure, by the way, on the hourly. Because if you can just close below that suddenly, then I'm in a nasty position. So let's keep it up there. Hourly closes in 7 minutes. If we close roughly there above the 38, I enter. Or I move the order. If you're already at 38, I'll enter market. If we are above it, I'll move the limit order to 38. It's just that the dollar right now actually is pulling back a little bit as well. So we're not far from a pullback in my opinion here. At least that's what it looks like. Yeah, so far it's holding up well. The 50-minute close will be crucial. You see that these orders are still there. You see it again right now. For example, you have that huge red line here. That's a passive seller. Okay, that means that there is a large order placed, a limit order placed at the 52.7. And you could see how we kind of reacted from that area, roughly speaking, around it. And there are a bunch of orders placed that are coincide with that level. And the sellers are trying to step in. Buyers are still pushing 469 across the 339. So there are more buyers than sellers now. The delta is green. You can see this below. There are more buyers than sellers in this candle right here. And this is where sellers got trapped. So if you close above that, then it could even be that the 46 already will be turning into support, but I think that's way too overextended. So that 38 is the right level for the entry there. Wow, that goes fast, my friends. Holy moly. That's already 300 subs in this stream right now. And thank you guys for the likes as well here. Like I said before, at the 120 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. We're going to do something cool for you guys. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done some giveaways here on this channel. It actually was a comment team. But, yeah, if we can reach that, we can reach that very, very soon already, then. This week. So, yeah, we're going to do a giveaway this week here. So don't just subscribe for the giveaway. Okay. Subscribe if you actually like this channel, like this video, like this content and the daily live streams. Regardless, it's amazing to analyze the market together and to be here. I'm going to be here. Would you not consider a buy limit at the 38? Yes, after the hourly closure. Yeah. So then I will move it up for sure. Like right now, like if this holds, for now oil is bouncing already, right? The dollar also is holding up quite well. So we're close to like a pullback, I think. We're not that far away. But silver was actually the one today that actually is smashing it, killing it today. Look at silver. Look at how clean it actually was. Wow. I will definitely go to the order flow of silver later and see what happened there. But silver did a great job. Look at that. Look at that. When are we going to see the closing? 2 minutes. Wow, looks really good. Really strong. Really strong. Why are we flying when there are more sellers in the market? Yeah, this is exactly the point, right? This is exactly what we will always talk about on the streams. All these sellers are getting absorbed. There's a larger player in the market right now, which is trying to push up gold tier, absorbing these market sellers. Okay. Lorenzo, please show your stop lits, your top step. Oh yeah, man. Wait. Yeah, on top step we're definitely like grinding. Green. Right around here, I think, right? Like I said before, I didn't trade it for around months on this account. Months. Okay. So I decided, okay, you know, it's time to pick it up again. So we're now what, like 72% win rate, 1.34. I think it's decent, right? It's like it's okay. 3.57. It's clean. Right? Yesterday I no trade, today okay. So it's slowly and steadily grinding to the upside right there. And if you do that on 3 accounts, right, that builds up quite well. Slowly and steadily you build up, and before you know it, you have your payout. So slow and steady, I think, is the game here on top step. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Obviously, I had a loss and I recovered that loss before the New York session already. So yeah, that was all about managing the trade again, right? You know how the story goes. So overall, keeping up with the right processes and stuff, right? No trading day here. Also today, New York session. We'll see what we close. We have the hourly candle closure right now. So where are we? 38? Yeah, 38. Let's see. I'm gonna give it a shot for sure, and see where we can take this still. All right. Hourly, but yeah, just keep in mind, I'm not just trading top step right away, right? I just said that like I didn't trade on top step for months, and I decided, you know, I have these funded accounts laying there. I'm streaming right now. Again, why not just doing and taking that in consideration as well here on the side? Why not, right? 38.8. Yeah, I think it's I think it makes sense. And then stops below. No, not there. It's way too low. Yeah, 25 then. 26. So you actually need to... Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Yeah. All right, one more try, right? It's what it is today. I don't know what's happening. Yesterday we had the same thing, right? Yesterday we had the same thing. The difference with yesterday, though, is like yesterday I could have definitely entered the trade. That's what I told you guys already many times on stream. Because I kind of saw it later on. I was like, yeah, no, it was obvious. Today, I don't think it was like... For me, today was just textbook. So that's just part of the process. I'm gonna get into entries every day. At some point again. You saw that last week. We traded every day. Monday. It's just a bit how the market is moving at the moment. But, you know, if I would adjust my system consistently, guys, you have to understand, I will not be consistently profitable, right? I would be chasing the market down to just trade because of the trade, right? Just trading because of trading. Not trading because I'm following a clear system that I know is working, that I know is profitable, right? So to me, that's more important. Like I said before, besides working with the 15 people right now, like I have nothing here to sell you guys. I'm here to trade. So my incentives are here to be and to actually trade and make money, right? Nothing else there. My Discord is closed. I don't have any promotions running now, nothing. Right, so you have to understand that I want to trade as much as you want to trade, but for me, it has to align with my approach, with my system. That's the way it is. Yeah, let's see if we can get that pullback into the 38s. We're a bit overvalued, so we need a pullback. I think this is already quite aggressive in my opinion. Right around here. Lorenzo, I'm currently reading your book. Amazing. Yeah, it's free, man. Enjoy. And it's something that you can do in the weekend too. Yeah, exactly. And the dollar is not even moving, right? It's well, the dollar is not strong, that's for sure. I think oil as well. Yeah, oil is dropped. Oil, I have a great feeling that oil is going to break down here. It's going to try to fill that wick. We'll see, but you know, if that happens, guys, if oil drops, right? Do you see the potential still between gold now pushing higher and oil dropping, right? And how this could definitely still be considered a good, you know, entry if we see that happening. So yeah. Promises, although I'm in special forces and love my job, I want financial freedom and be able to live a life I chose, and hope the same for you, all my friends. That's a nice message, man. That's a nice message. You know, I've been talking to some people right now, some people that applied for that 50-man group where I'm onboarding 15 traders. We now have, I think, 11 qualified people. We have 4 more to go. And I think it will be full in no time, but 4 more, and the 11 people are amazing individuals, man, from all over the world. Different ages. One is, there's a guy, he's 18 years old, and then there is I think someone who's 60 years old. So it's very interesting to see that and to talk to them. Being so different, right? Completely different backgrounds, completely different history, right? Jobs, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm super aware of who's watching this stream. And how amazing it is that we can find a hobby, we can find something that we like and talk about this, regardless of where we come from, regardless of our age. So yeah, 11 people to go. It's like, wow. Sorry, 4 more people to go here. And you think, oh, we had hundreds of applications. I think 200 applications. But yeah, a lot of people in between that. You know, we really looking for the right people. All right, pullback, baby. Come on. Last chance. Come on. Don't do this again like yesterday. Am I going to take this on my TopStep account? I don't know, actually, if I want to do that, to be honest with you. Okay? You know, I'm really happy. Like, this is also something that I realized, guys. if I'm on a funded account, right? And I made my money, even though it's not a much, right? I know it really stacks over time. It really adds on, right? It really adds on. What if I like make some money and then I lose a trade and then I end the day in red, right? If you make your money, you move to the next day. Boom, you build it up and you compound. It compounds like crazy. You don't realize this, but it really compounds, you know? It really does. These small profits, man. Boom, 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 boom. Get your money, get out. You've done it for today. No stress. Move on, right? So this is why, indeed, from that perspective, I like to have multiple accounts, because I could say, okay, my top's in right now. Like, I don't really want to take another one, right? I can now focus on this other account and do that, right? And take a trade there. I like that idea. I like that personally. That's also part of the risk management. It's also a way of managing risk. Having multiple accounts and managing them differently. You know, in between your personal account, your different funded accounts, whatever the case may be. All right, what are buyers and sellers doing right now? Okay, we're seeing a lot of sellers coming in. All right, they're unable to push price down. It's very similar to yesterday. You see a lot of sellers coming in, but also, again, a huge seller, 147 contracts short right now at the 44. But price is now trading at the 48. So that shorter, that took a short aggressively, is stuck in that trade. And if this candle flips bullish, that person that shorted there is in a very, 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 very bad position. Very bad spot. So clearly, buyers are still in control at the moment. Jonathan, yes, the real profit is cumulative profits. Yes, I agree, especially if you trade prop firms. Especially if you trade prop firms, in my opinion. You know, you have just a lot more room in the personal account. You can be open, you can hold your trade overnight. You know, you have all these different things you can do that you cannot do on a funded account, like futures, for example. So, you know, really like get what you can get here, and it really does compound. But this all, you know, that doesn't mean that your losses need to be significantly higher than your wins. Okay, that's another issue. We don't want that. We don't want our losses to be much larger than our wins, because then you do put in all that work, that consistent profit. You make all these consistent profits, but then that one loss eliminates all of it. You don't want that either. So you need to find a good balance there. Okay. Yeah, the limit order is placed again. We need to get that one squeeze and see if we can get in. And then, of course, I will be targeting, you know, the range here, the top of the range here, which is the 60. I need to look here. 1 second. That is the 4 hour. The 4 hour, yeah. Yeah, the 65. The 65, right? The 60, yeah, the 65 with the 55 as a break-even point, or a closure if it's a really, if it's a strong resistance, let's say. Yeah, something like that. So 55 and 65 is what I'm watching if I get into this trade and we're bouncing here correctly. The 55 and the, so I'm looking at an entry at the 38, and then My first level to watch is the 55. My second level to watch is the 65. So yeah, what is that grid indicator on TradingView where you can see the buyers and sellers? This is not on TradingView. This is the actual charts. When are you gonna do your payout on Top Step? Well, I'm always targeting the 10K, right? That's something that I like to do. The 10K, because it gives me like a 5K room once I do my 5K payout. For example, right now in theory, right? You have these 5 winning trading days right here. Okay. The largest trade is a $900 day, so that's like the consistency rule is then 2,000. So you already have more than that. So yeah, I could take a $1,500 payout now, right? If I want to. And I have 3 of those accounts, right? I have 3 of those accounts. So that's already a $5,000 payout, right? In theory. It's not that complicated. If you look at it from this perspective, right? If I would take out profits right now, for example, but then I don't have enough like margin to work with after that. I like to have at least a couple, at least like 3,000 or 4,000, you know, max loss limit, or how do you call that? Max loss limit, yeah. Yeah, that's already 5K, right? If you look at it from that angle, of course. This is why I think that slow and steady really, really builds that, you know, builds that foundation at the beginning, especially. And this is what happens, right? People, you become funded and you're like, oh, I'm funded now. So I want to get my profits as soon as possible. I want to get payouts as soon as possible. And you're so excited because you're now a funded trader. You now have that status, that label. Oh, I am a funded trader. And it's a real big accomplishment, right? At the beginning. And I completely get it because it's awesome. It's a great feeling. But, you know, the problem is that then, you know, you're a funded trader and you're so excited about trading, and then boom, you take that first trade, and then guess what happens? The first is a loss, and then you're so disappointed that your first trade on your real funded account where you can finally get money, you've been working so hard passing your challenge, and now you have passed your challenge, now you are a funded trader, and then guess what? Your first trade is a loss. Yeah. That mentally does something with you where you're like, ah, shit, I don't like to be in red on my funded account. I don't like it. So I need to trade again now because I want to end the day in green today. And what happens? You lose another trade. And then, oops, there goes your second one. You go even crazier. And guess what happens then? You're like, ah, okay, fuck it. I'm going to just say the word, fuck it. All right? I'm just going to put it all in red right now. Who cares? Okay, I'm already halfway there. Let's just put it all on red. Let's see what happens. And guess what happens most of the time? You know exactly what happens. So, my suggestion, my advice personally, from personal experience, if you become a funded trader, okay, your first trade is the most important trade. Make sure that your first trade is the triple thousand A+ setup you are going to look for. And then secondary, okay, lower your risk regardless as much as you can, like extremely low, to a point where it actually is ridiculous. It's not about the money yet. It's about building that confidence of being a funded trader, building that confidence at first, getting green, getting these small cumulative profits, right? Build up that little foundation on your account here, okay? Do that first, right? And once you have that like first $500 to $1,000 in, like that's when you could start, you know, you get confident, you can start working with your risk better. You go from there, right? That's how a treated or a funded account should be treated, okay? My personal advice, because I've went through the stage, I know exactly how you feel and how annoying it is to work so hard to become funded and then waste it all in a single day or in a single week. And you have to start all the way from scratch. There's not a worse feeling than that, right? It's absolutely annoying. So that's the way to avoid this as much as possible, especially at the beginning here. So, yeah. Let me know if you recognize this, by the way. This might be something that a lot of people will experience. This is definitely something I've experienced. Of course, I cannot speak for you, but I would assume that this is a very common theme. You know how we call this? We call this, what was the word that someone used before? The funded exhaustion. It's a funded exhaustion or something like that. Something with the word exhaustion in it, where it's like you work so hard on your challenge account, you treat your challenge account like a real trading account, and you put so much work and effort into that challenge account that you're completely mentally exhausted once you're actually funded. It's like you're completely exhausted and you're just like, you now have to, you feel so much pressure. And that pressure gets to them. It gets to you quite quickly. And it's just, yeah. The sooner you pass a challenge, the actually better it is from that perspective. Gerjan says, definitely lost 200k funding when it started. Yeah, exactly. Happened to be before, blew my funded. After getting it, learned to take it slower now. Okay, good. Very good. Yeah, man. And also another thing. The last thing that you should do is focus on the money. And that sounds fine, kind of ironic, because like you want to make money, right? The first thing the reason why you're trying to become funded is to make money. You want to make money in trading, right? That's of course extremely important. But funny enough, once you become funded, you start projecting all of these scenarios out there, all right? Where you think, oh, right, so, I'm this close from getting a payout. I'm just going to take these 3 trades. These trades are going to work out. Then I make $7,000. Then I can buy that. Or I can buy that. So in your head, you already spent the money before you place a single trade. Yeah, it might be the 39 too, by the way. I'm looking at the 39, actually 38.8. There we go. Dollar is breaking support. Okay. Yeah, look at the dollar. A large buyer came in. Also, the buyer is struggling because we have that large seller there at the 454. This is a good example of how a large seller is active right now at the 54s. Look at that large, that red line right here. That is that seller that is trying to hold price down right now. At the same time, there are buyers here as well, but the seller is it's a much larger seller. There's a series of contracts placed at that 48,454 level. And a buyer tried to long here. 187 contracts, a single buyer. But it couldn't break above the 54. So this might be the pullback that we're waiting for now. Yeah, like here, look at that. Large buyer, okay? A large buyer. But the candle closed red. The candle itself closed red. So let's see. Oil news in 7 minutes. Yeah, that's true. Lorenzo, do you see the buyers and sellers? What is the name of that software? That's the Xau charts. The Xau charts. What is your goal with the StopStep account? Now, like I said, I'm working towards the 10K, right? Slow and steady, 10K. If you can do 3K right now, right? We're at 3,000 in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days. With an average of like, you know, 600, 600, 300, 900, 300. So 500 a day, let's say. All right, 600 maybe. Then, yeah, you're getting in that direction quite quickly. If you do that times 3, that's a $15,000 additional payout. So it's good fun as an additional layer. Okay, dollar is breaking. This is why gold is holding up quite well here. This is our hourly level, the 39. This is where we have our order sitting right here. Right there. So let's see if we can do it. London highs are taken out. Is your background real? No, this is AI. I mean, this is just too perfect, right? The ventilator on the top. This is AI. It's getting crazy these days. Okay, I think we're getting there. Let's see. We're seeing some pressure coming in here. That seller is trying, and that buyer is failing. That buyer is failing. Just give me that squeeze, you know what I mean? Like that, whoop, and then that reversal. With the dollar breaking down here, right? Give me that pullback. Come on, come on. Give me that trade today. On the New York session. Come on, my G. Are you kidding, or is it really AI? No, it's really AI. $4,800, 48. 4848, our lucky number. Inspector Raccoon, not AI. I've seen his wife walking in the background before. That's a sharp response, Inspector Raccoon. Well done. Very sharp, my friend. Very sharp. Oil pumping. A little bit. Yeah. Man, when I read the chat sometimes and people are like, wow, it's pumping. I'm like, okay, let's have a look. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, it's coming up a little bit. Don't fool me in the chat, please, like that, okay? You know when you walk on the street and you lost your phone, and then you realize your phone is in your other hand or your phone is in your other pocket. And you're like finding your phone and you're like getting a heart attack. That's sometimes what I feel in the chat. You know what I mean? When you talk about that, like oil pumping. It's okay, my friend. It's okay. We're there. We're still alive. We have some news though in regards to oil, right? The crude oil inventories came out, a little bit better than expected, than the forecast. So that's positive for need. Yeah, maybe that is gonna cause us or that gives us the pullback we want. That's true. I need time. Just a little more time. A little bit more time. Just a little bit more time, G's. Okay. What is the 38? The 38 is very high, actually, of the previous range. And then we have the 34. So I want to react from the 38 here. And I think we're gonna get there now. Sar, I wrote it before. I can't believe Lorenzo is sharing all this knowledge for free. Amazing, man. Thank you. Yeah, we're just sharing what we know. We're just trying to be a little bit better every single day. Trying to be the best version of ourselves every single day. We're not perfect, but we're getting better every day, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna take this trade on Top Step. Like I said, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna stick on my other account. Top Step is green. Let's keep it this way. Could it be more? It could be more. But like we just talked about how to build a funded account the right way. We just talked about it. Yo, Lorenzo, what broker do you use trade of it? One of you, okay. All right, 15 minutes. Yeah, there's a big chance we're gonna get filled or now, right now. You can see this on the 15, on the 5, sorry. It will be nuts if it would not flip, if it would flip. How can I learn the deep volume or order flow? Do you know anyone who teaches it legitimately? Yeah, Fabio Valentini. That's my guy. It's my Italian brother. And Andrea Cimi. Also an Italian brother. I think these two guys are just the guys you need to follow. Regardless. I think they're very good for the industry. Fabio actually messaged me and said, yo, I read your book. Interesting stuff around the COT data and the open interest. It's like, yeah, man, this guy's moving to the higher time frames now. It's awesome. They were not far away. Why is the price not matching with mine? Because you trade gold spot CFDs. Can you consider as possible ceasefire in Lebanon? I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope so. Is that new? Did that news just came out, by the way? Did that news just came out? Not really, right? Oh, Lebanese information ministry of the possibility of a ceasefire. Efforts by the Republic's two main leaders and the government have begun to emerge. Okay. The US and Iran made progress in talks on a Tuesday, moving closer to a framework agreement to end the war. The US and Iran made progress. Okay, man, we're getting somewhere, man. We're getting somewhere. Right? De-escalation, but hey, like, what can we really trust here, guys? Like, you have to understand, like, we can be excited about this right now, and the next day, tomorrow morning, ASIN session, we bumped something else again. There's something else happening. So, you know, it's been a roller coaster from a news perspective. It's hard to believe things until they actually, you know, until they're actually confirmed. And even then, you don't know for how long, right? So yeah, it's a very unique situation. A lot of investors are lost, that's for sure. All right, we're getting quickly to that undervaluation right now. We are getting close to that limit, and oil is a bit spiking. I think oil is pushing a bit. Yeah, yeah, we will definitely get filled, and we'll see from there. Yeah, I mean, one tweet, the other direction, and everything changes again. So this is why I love the order flow, right? It eventually just confirms what I'm looking for. All right, we're finally filled, man. Finally. Is that all? The question now, will all that waiting be worth it? Will all that waiting be worth it? That's the real question right now. Will all that waiting be worth it? First reaction, I always like to see that. I'm actually quite serious. I like to see that, especially if that 15-minute candle can flip again, bullish, right? That's the ideal scenario. This 15-minute candle flip, 15-minute candle flipping bullish, reaching the 55s. The 55s, and then a quick move to the 65s after that would be ideal. It's a good reaction so far, and we want to see a good reaction, but preferably a nice closure, right? You know, we're sniping entries, you know that, right? So sometimes people, they understand this. They're like, I'm going to put my stop loss and break even immediately, and I'll wait from there. Sometimes it's the right decision, but like other times it's a bit too rushed. Wow, look at the reaction though. It's a good reaction. Dollar is in that rejection right there. You see that? That's what you want. Right in the middle of that range. Oil is holding up quite well. Yeah, oil is holding up quite well. The dollar is definitely in that range, getting rejected there. That's what we want to see, right? That's what we want to see. And now we want to see the follow through here. So let's see what happens. All right, sellers are coming back. When is the hourly closure? 17 minutes, okay. 17 minutes. Yeah, we have that huge seller at 48. That needs to be broken. 48. Is Topstep a great broker? Topstep is a prop firm. Well, we're not trading on Topstep here. I'm already done with Topstep for today. We're gonna keep it green today on Topstep. We're not gonna mess around right now. Okay, we're just gonna leave it. We'll come back tomorrow. All right, sellers are there, definitely. But. Absorption is taking place. We have 1 minute for this 15-minute candle to close. It will be very important. A lot can happen in 1 minute. Yeah, we might still drop a bit more. We might still come down a little bit more here. Because the 5 minute is not really showing us a good, like, you know, we also don't have that bottom wick there. Like the 15 minute is actually getting definitely supported right now. We know why. We know why the 38, right? We want to close as high as possible on the 15. Otherwise, we just form new resistance. And I think we're still, you know, we're definitely not there yet. We might still drop again. But I think just being patient is the answer here. It's always good to see that first reaction on our level. Then we know kind of, okay, we picked the right level for the right reasons. Now the question is, okay, is this level indeed strong enough to get supported here? We know why our stop loss is below the 25. We have a lot more things. Even when we get into drawdown, we have another level sitting right below. And our stop loss is below that level. So we have some room here. Dollar is in at resistance as well, right? So if we can get rejected now, we flip this candle bearish. And this should be pushing higher. So the stars are, from that perspective, aligning. The 50 minute is back at the equilibrium, which is what we want. The last time when we were there, right here, you could see that we were actually bottoming out as well and breaking higher. We're pretty much back there. On the 5 minute, we are also there. Okay. So I think from a trading perspective, and the trade itself is it's a solid setup, in my opinion. It's a setup I would take any day of the week here. The hourly as well is supported by that zone. We're already reacting from that 4 hour zone before. So the 4 hour is aligned with the 1 hour. The 15 minute is tapping into it. We just have some internal resistance to break there. And this is why we need volume to see if we can actually do that. So yeah, it's pretty tactical from my side. That's all I can do. What is another level? Another level is, yeah, like I said, the 30. But that's lower, right? And we also have the point of control at 34, which is right here, which is another level right here. And actually mark this out, which is this zone, this area. And we have a lot of levels here. Because we saw that consolidation with a lot of selling, all these sellers are stuck. So I hope we can close above the, that would be amazing. If we can close that 50-minute candle above the 46, then I'm very confident. The problem is if I wait for that to happen, we could already spike up. Do you have a Telegram group where you give signals? No. Look at our level, man. How it's constantly reacting from it. The very high. I'm not happy with the buyers right now at the moment, at least. When do we close this hourly? In 10 minutes. It will be very important to watch this closure on the 10 minutes as well in the hourly. But yeah. We need to see that close above the 46. If you're not certain, you can get out of the trade. If you're in the trade as well, if you understand the trade, and re-enter at 46 closure. So above the 46, so above this high. But in my opinion, it's a bit too high and secondary. Then it might fly already. And then we miss out again. So I'd rather stay in the trade and just watch it. It closed above again on the 5 minute. Dollar is getting rejected here, right? There's also for me a reason to stay in the trade because the dollar is like getting rejected now. And it's almost flipping bearish even. You see that? It's almost flipping bearish. Do you stream every day? Yes, my friend. I do. So welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, man. Welcome. So yeah, what do we see? We see a lot of selling here, but not a lot of follow through right now. The dollar is in that resistance as well. But I really want to see gold closing above the 46 there. That will be an amazing confirmation. That'll be an amazing confirmation. At least above the 43. Because you can see how it's acting as that resistance right now. It's kind of acting as that resistance. If you break and close above that, great. If you want, you can wait for the closure above it, right? And then get it, and then get in above this high. When do we close this? In 7 minutes, okay? And this is a huge level, man. A big level, guys. We have that level marked out before already. We know why this is an important level. Let me show you which level I'm talking about here. It's this one right here on the 15 minute. Okay, a huge level right here. A lot of volume traded in this exact level before. On the 1 hour, it's a huge amount of selling that took place here. The candle closed above that. It's now retesting this level as support. You can see why we're reacting from it. Right there, this is that red box. We're now retesting it. And otherwise we have another one underneath. And from a candlestick perspective, we have the swing very high, which is the swing low to the swing high. All the volume traded from here to here. And it's actually a low volume area. It's a very interesting area to look for trades for. And also it's the very high of the range itself. So yeah, from a trading perspective, I think it's a good level. Something I would take. I know this works over time enough, but now the question is, are sellers able to protect, or sorry, buyers able to protect this level? Where would you buy another limit order? Yeah, like I said, this is our next zone, which is the 30, which is right here. Okay, if it gets to 30, I might take it on top step, if we get there. Right, with the same amount of contracts, with the same stop loss, small stop. I will be willing to do that. If we get there though. Right, small stop would end the day in green on top step anyways. But it's only if we get to the 30s. But otherwise we keep it the way it is right now. Oh man, if this, imagine a 30 minute, just like whoop, volume coming in. Imagine that, right? The hourly as well as in that the month. On the 1 hour time frame, we are in like that 1 hour in the month zone. Not the reason why I entered, by the way, but like. It's going to bounce off the VWAP. The VWAP is higher on my chart right here. Where's the VWAP here? Yeah, we need to break above that. If we do that, then it's so sad. Then it's so sad. Above the so sad, I mean, in terms of positive sad. It's done. It's confirmed. It is confirmed. Yeah, the hourly zone is reacting positively. We have 2 minutes for this hourly closure, so yeah. And that 50-minute is showing something nice here. If we can close at least above the 42, that would be amazing. But like I said, I prefer to close above the 46. On the 5-minute, 43 maybe. Minimum. That would be the ideal. Doesn't really want to go up. It's definitely an area of interest, but doesn't really want to go. There's one thing I've learned, and that's like that the last minute of the 50-minute candle, and the hourly as well, by the way, but the 50-minute especially, is telling always a storyline. It's always that last minute, the last 90 seconds of the 50-minute candle, giving us that story. 50 seconds left. How confident am I on this trade? So far, I'm really 50-50. Right, but I understand the setup and all the confluences, and I'm very confident about the actual point of interest, the entry price. I knew this before, the 38 was a good level. So I would take that trade any day of the week. The pullback setup into the very high with the dollar in resistance. Relatively undervalued, and an hourly order flow, an hourly level here, as well as a 50-minute zone. This is why limit orders, at least, even if you're wrong, right? It allows you to think. It allows you to maneuver. I could exit on break even right now, right? For example, I could do that, right? In theory. And we're already been in the trade for, yeah, a while. Okay. No follow through though. The hourly close, you're right, has been there now. So it is also the bottom wick right now is getting created of the hourly candle right here, as you can see. So we actually just took out the previous hourly low. So you never really know the real move, especially at the first minutes of the hourly candle open. So yeah, that is not a reason to close the trade in any way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of being patient and sitting it out, I guess. Yeah, I was thinking I might meet with top step, for example. Small risk, 3 contracts as well, for example, at the 30 if you get there. Like it could be something like that. That's like a, because the stop loss is the same place. It's like a 5-point stop only, which is actually yeah, not much. It's like $150 or something risk. So maybe if we get there and we react from it, the risk to reward is of course much higher then. Yeah, well, we have the point of control in between that. The 15-minute is right there. Wait, is it the 15-minute or the hourly? Yeah, the 15-minute. We have below that level, we have another level. It's not as strong in my opinion, the point of control. It's the one below that. It's the 30. That is a serious level here. You could actually see this already right here. That is where we can also find real support at the 30s. So yeah, if there's no follow through, there's no follow through. I think we entered around 35, right? So that's roughly speaking 25 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago. We hovered around there for a while. No follow through. Now we're breaking down. So the question is, what will the next level give us? That is the point of control. But if this swipes through it like this, which is possible, then of course the 30 is the level where we're looking for. And then the stop loss, yeah, same thing. Unfortunate that there is no follow through though. I really would love to see that reaction there. We're getting to an undervaluation now. Let's see how we react around the 30s. We're getting close to the lows here. All right, look at that reaction. That was a strong reaction. What was that? The 5-minute time frame? Immediate wick, immediate reversal. Wow, what was that? You saw that? Did you see that? Immediately in our zone here. Right away, look at that. Right in that level, right away here. Look at how it reacted here. Wow. Stop loss was placed below that. What a reaction, man. Wow. Wow, if this holds and we pull back, then the stop loss placement was epic. But yeah. It's time for our next level now. This is the 30 that we were talking about. No, this looks very weak. Never say never, but yeah, I don't think I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now. The price structure itself. I was thinking, should I take the trade on the top step? But I'm like, nah. It's just not convincing here. The way it's moving as well with a lot of volume, right? You can see that it's like, it's also delayed, by the way, on TradingView a little bit. Nah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Nah, we're gonna keep it clean on top step today. I'm not gonna ruin this. All right, that's one. I'm out of this trade here. Definitely worth the try for me. It was definitely worth my area here. We're now actually back to that initial level that we were looking at, by the way. Let's see what we have. We're getting close to that undervaluation as well. Dollar is still not strong. Is it oil it's pushing? It's oil pushing, yeah. Oil is pushing here. I've lost 200, okay. I've lost so much money, all right. Yeah, part of the game, guys. I think this is my first losing trade in like what, a couple weeks. So don't get too excited. Like I said before, if you don't understand the setup, don't trade with me. Don't trust a half Dutch Italian guy that you see for the first time on your stream. We have mentioned this all the time here. Okay. Anyways, next level. Is our 4-hour zone. I'm definitely not done yet, to be honest, because right now I like how we're seeing some volume. We're back in our original range. Oil needs to slow down, and that resistance at the 93. And then I'll give it maybe one more try here, and that's exactly we'll calculate it after. But like we're sniping through this. 21. Good execution, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think so too. I think it was a good level. I would take this trade at any moment here. So I might give it one more shot around this area right now, because I do like how we are reacting here. We have that closure in 5 minutes. We're seeing a lot of sellers coming in right now. We're getting undervalued. So I think it is actually 27, right? 27. Really sick of losses? No, man, don't worry about it, man. Like, don't expect to get into the market and never lose money. And if you lose, that you go crazy. That's not really the right mindset, in my opinion. The question is, can you enter week in green? Can you be consistent? How do you deal with losses? Do you understand the reason behind your trade? Do you agree with the reasoning behind your trade? Right? Is it something that you know? You've traded that before? Yeah, there was a reason why we didn't take this on top step later on, where I said this is also a good, kind of a good reason why we say, you know what? It's not time right now to take it on top step. Maybe if you go lower with the right confirmation. But again, it allows me to just play around, right? And say, okay, I made my money on top step. We move forward right now. We look for the confirmation here. And we go from there. Yeah, the 26. That was actually our first buy limit that we had set here. Okay, that was our first buy limit here. Remember? That was our first buy limit. Let's give it one more shot around this level here. And see if we can break out. This is an entry model 1. See if we can actually have that follow through. Let's see if this is now maybe interesting here. Let me give it one more check. Yeah, but a really, really tight stop here. I think that's probably worth a try. And that's it, man. That's my last shot of the day here. Otherwise, we just keeping our account open. No top step trading today. I want to keep this account green right now. We're compounding that. Don't trade if you don't understand it. If you don't follow it. If you don't like it, don't follow me. Today, just observe it. I'm not here trying to blow your account. It's your own responsibility. You understand that, right? Also, when we win, which we have done more. Yeah, I like how it is reacting. Our first initial buy limit was exactly there, by the way, right at the beginning of our stream. And then when we think, oh, it will never get back down, look what happens. Look at that. Look at that reaction here. The 26, right? And the 21.8, the 26 and the 21.8 right there. We had our buy limit set at the beginning of the stream here. That's sometimes how much patience you actually need to have. It's a great example. It's a great example. All right, we're holding that zone here. Where could my stop be? Very tight, actually, in this case. At the... pretty much at 26.5, I guess. It's kind of my last shot of today. Otherwise, just keep it... I cut it for today. And come back tomorrow again. Yeah, if it close below this candle, then it's pretty much done for me today. Because then I'm not gonna try to force it, squeeze it down. I think at some point we will come up, though. I'm actually pretty convinced we at some point will push up here. But we've been waiting for so long, right, today, and then again, we have our first loss in around like 2 weeks. Sometimes that happens, especially knowing if you wait for so long. But this is also part of the game. See, whereas gold at the higher time frame. Yeah, I don't really want to break below this, below that low here. Don't really want to do that. Krusty says, I've watched it. It was clean, makes sense. I don't consider this as a bad trade. No, even the first one I actually liked as well. A lot of aggressive selling here. We closed above this. This candle's pulling into this right now. We want to definitely hold here. There is no doubt about that. We don't want to close below the 27 here. We're now 31. We don't want to really see that 5-minute closure below the 27 at least. That's what I don't like to see here. All right, we close above that, at least on this 5-minute candle. Oil is reacting a little bit here. So it's definitely oil right now. It's definitely oil. Look at oil reversed. Yeah, I'm gonna start paying a lot of attention to the oil as well. I'm gonna analyze the footprint on oil too. It's definitely worth a try. I'm not sure that I'm gonna use it. I'm just gonna check it out. What would be your target? The 55, like I said before. If we manage to get in here and hold above it steadily, it's the second point of interest. Our first point of interest was at the 38. You saw the reaction there. And how long we actually stayed there above that level. There was definitely an area where we could have bought and just bounced from. This is level 2. It's the 26, 27. The goal is the same, right? The goal is the 55 and the 65. 55 and the 65, pretty much. They call these smart money trades. We smart Mr. Market. There is not such thing as smart money trades, in my opinion. I think it's just all about finding your own edge, just being consistent and disciplined enough to follow that. How long will this trade last in your opinion? I have no idea, man. I could be stopped out in 1 minute. We could be flying in 1 minute. We could stay here for a while. As of right now, the volume is slightly coming down here. You can see this right here. Every 5-minute candle, the volume is slowing down. All right, we're dropping. I don't think we're going to hold this level either. I think sellers are still control here, especially if we close this 5-minute candle below the 20, below this level. There is the high likelihood that this is not going to follow through as well. Still 46 seconds for that. I lose what I gained in the last week, unfortunate, man. Yeah, manage your risk accordingly. Make sure you never lose more than you win. That's usually the big killer, right? You win a lot of trades and then you lose that one trade and you ruin your whole week. That's the last thing that you want. This is why I'm constantly referring to also smaller, consistent profits. Just cutting it quickly if you want to. Not being too reactive. And not betting all your money on your one horse. What if that goes wrong, right? You usually go up. You usually mess up. So better just to be to really minimize your loss as much as you can, man. Again, we're holding again around our level, our second point of interest for a while, but we don't see buyers stepping in. That closure is also not good. Not a big fan of this because you can see how sellers are pushing, buyers are unable to. Buyers are not even willing to step in here except for the 23. We have some support there. But that's pretty much it. I don't see buyers really stepping in right now. It's pretty bearish from here. Hey Lorenzo, I had a ticket open, but I can't create one at the moment to pay for my VIP access. I mean, we don't have a VIP that you can get access to, so I don't know who are you talking to. But I don't know, man. I'm not here. I have nothing really to sell you. Okay. So be I don't know, be careful. Yeah, it's definitely oil here. Oil is the killer here. Oil is pushing higher. We are getting to some areas of resistance right now in oil. So that is definitely going to be the game changer. The sell stop is there. So just gonna let this sit this one out, and otherwise just accept my my loss for today, at least on my account here, and keep my top step up in profit. And Yeah, then the winning streak is ended, on the streams at least. And we just start fresh. We start from 0 again. You're currently selling, all right. Yeah, sellers are currently winning the battle here. You can see buyers are willing to come in right now. Any closure above the 31 is that reversal, most likely. So right now I would only enter, if I would enter a buy, for example, if I had the choice to enter a buy, I would only buy if you break above the 31 or close above the 31. Again. All right, very close to stops, and that very close. Like I said, sellers are in control here. That's definitely what's happening right now. You could see it at the 30s, right? That's why I said that we don't really want to close below the 27. You don't want to do that. The point of control is kind of our final squeeze, but all right, I'm out. All right, guys. Yes, no success today. We broke our winning streak on this beautiful Wednesday here on the streams as well. Okay. We got this out. Keeping our top step up and our other down. Okay. So from my perspective, I'm okay. Of course, not nice for the streams. We would love to win all the time. We can't win all the time. We have to manage the risk accordingly. We pull back into our levels. We saw the confirmation around 38 very nicely. We had a nice initial reaction around about 60 pips, but then we just had no follow through. Similar to the 27, same thing, and it's just bleeding right now. We're bleeding. Right, gold is kind of bleeding down. It's breaking our key levels here. You know, it's gonna go to the next level and the next level, right? And I don't really want to like force new trades right now at the 05 or the 94, right? I really not gonna do this. At some point you have to say, okay, let's observe it and go from there. And if I'm wrong, I'm pretty much wrong. And I accept that I'm wrong. And I'm not really gonna push further. I'm trying to force another setup right there. But overall, I'm still happy with my overall thought process. My reasoning of the trade was correct. Everything for pretty much the confluence that I was looking for kind of aligned. They mapped perfectly. Also, the dollar was relatively weaker. Oil started spiking kind of aggressively right there at the bottom right there. Oil started to push up kind of aggressively since our first reaction. We were first in that resistance at the 22.35 still. We had a lot of resistance here. So that also aligned with our initial entry. Yeah, but then oil just broke, squeezed us out, and gold stock kept coming down here. So that's pretty much it. Okay. I think if you just continue the process right here, then over time, of course, things will be fine. And we go from there. Okay. So again, Friday, like I said before, we have the summary of all the trades of the week. That will cover all the trades. Are we still up for the week? We are still up for the week. I think Monday was a great example of that. And then, yeah, Friday we have the summary. And we'll cover this trade deeply. Both of those. But specifically the first execution at the 38. And then also the second one, of course. And then tomorrow and Friday we have 2 more trading days. So let's see how we can do this from that perspective as well here. And then, yeah, I hope to give all my best, to constantly be active, to give my best confluences around what I'm looking for. And I'm confident enough to trust that process and just to repeat it every single day on the streams right now. This is a nice reaction, by the way. The only problem with this is right now is that we have a lot of resistance to cover here. So, you know, especially the 30s right now. are one of these levels that we're seeing here. It's a very important level, by the way, right now, the 12. It's actually, oh man, it's so, this is the point, right? It's so tempting. It's so tempting right now. But no, I have to follow up with this. It's an hourly level. You can see this right there. But I have to follow up with what I said here. If I lose these 2 trades on the stream here, I'm not going to try to force another one on the stream. Okay, I think it's more than enough to give it enough chances here. But yeah, we are back in another hourly zone here. But you do have a large area of resistance right there. Okay, so you really need to flip a strong hourly to really feel comfortable about, for me personally, to get into longs again at the 35s and stuff. Once we close above that. Anything around here right now is very tricky in my opinion. Very tricky, because oil can just continue to push higher, and a temporary reaction is great, but then we don't see the follow through, for example, right? So that's the only scenario that I'll be really willing to look at right now, if the hourly candle does something crazy and we flip bullish and we hold that support right there. Okay, all right. Hope this makes sense, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in today. And then we're gonna come back tomorrow strong. All right, we just continue to move forward from there, and we just follow up with what we know best, and that is being consistent, being disciplined, and execute on that. All right, thank you guys so much. Don't get too emotional. It's okay. Yeah, part of life, part of the game. All good. See you guys tomorrow. Looking forward to this, and we are very close to the 120. Like I said before, at the 120, we'll be doing a nice giveaway. Okay, 120 subs, we'll be doing a nice giveaway. So we're very close. We're almost there, man. We're very close. We're gonna hit it tomorrow. So we'll let you know what we're gonna do from our giveaway. Might be a challenge, might be something nice, something interesting. It's been a while since we have done that. If you guys know me already, we've done so many live streams, so many giveaways. It's been a while. But I think it's time to do this, especially around the 120, since we are continuing with this new format right here. All right. Cool, G's. Thank you for the support. Much love. Much love. Playlist is coming. Yes, sir. It's coming. It's coming. See you later. Much love. See you tomorrow. New York session, same time, 8 a.m.